Coach Meyer, right when you sat down, you looked at me and said 31 years. You've been coaching college football now for 31 years. You've seen it all, I'm sure. Last year you had the least experienced team in the entire country, 128 out of 128. This year you've got one of the most experienced teams in the entire conference. Was that more challenging in the offseason, or was this offseason much smoother for you as a coach, knowing that you had some of that experience back?
Something you can't replace is experience. And so last year's team was a challenge, especially early on. So many unknowns, but they came together. We had a couple of great road wins and over 2 overtime wins, and it galvanized our team, especially when we went on the road and played Oklahoma. I just didn't envision that with such a young group. But this year, and I got 3 of them here, I don't know if we've ever had 3 fifth-year seniors. It's kind of a dinosaur now where guys don't stick around for 5 years. So our leadership is as good as I've ever had it. And for those who followed our program, they know how I feel and how we feel about that. And I know we're all very excited about this team. But there's nothing like going to battle with a bunch of grown men that have been there before. And we start fast. We go at Indiana and against Oklahoma the first 2 games, so they better be ready.
Coach, last question of the day. I'll pose it to you because you've seen the SEC East at its height. You touched on this yesterday in your comments. I know it's always a big question around college football, in particular in the playoff era. People want to talk about conference strength, division strength, so on and so forth. But this conference, these 14 teams, these 14 coaches, as good as any, and possibly the premier college football conference in the land, I would contend. How would you say it?
I think you know more than we do. All I know is our conference, and I can relate it back. And people like to make great headlines when they ask those questions, so I'm going to be very political in my response here. I know our conference top to bottom. I can see the way our coaches recruit. I can see the investments in the stadiums, the support staff, and what a complimentary to say what our conference has done. 2012, I was shocked because I never looked at. I grew up here. I always had great respect for the Big Ten. But go look at the top 20 rankings in recruiting. You said 4 of our teams finished in the top 10. You really don't have to worry about what other conferences do. Worry about our conference. And my hat's off to all. This is top to bottom as good a conference as I've ever been.
Coaches, best of luck. Really look forward to seeing how you reflect on the as well.